All right, so we're going. We've been talking about this for a while. We're just gonna
we have
some bullshit sessions. So hey, salute, boys.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Here we are.
Cheers.
Good to finally make this happen. That's bullshit. Having to respect the beard cup. I don't know about that. I think we got hosed, Adam.
We got the coffee mugs. He's got some.
But good choice of filler in the mug, though.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good time to do it. It's better than a morning, podcast that we can.
Is it? I mean, you don't like drinking in the morning?
Well,
Not
on the Tuesday,
8:05.
on the Thursday.
We're having mimosas in the morning, maybe a little Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of over Bloody Marys. I used to think I liked them, but I'm not a tomato juice fan. I'm over it.
I don't know, though. A michelada? Bro.
I'm over it. I've embraced my feminine side, and I just go with the mimosa.
Yeah. Well,
It's just so good.
Well,
it's easy.
It's been very easy for me.
explains why you're always trying to hold my hand at brunch.
I know.
Oh, it's so cute.
It has nothing to do with the beard, does it? So,
I got to go to brunch with you guys.
Yeah.
well, then it wouldn't be quite as special.
That's true.
I'd have to trade in Randall's, too. He's kind of my go-to for that.
Yeah. Dick's Hideaway?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the normal spot?
Love turning up people onto dicks.
Yeah, you do.
I haven't had their brunch. Is it good?
Oh, it's amazing.
Well, it's just their breakfast menu. I mean, it's their menu until like 5. So if you've been there before 5, any point, any day, it's nothing special.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing, not like a special menu.
Okay.
But yeah, it's great. So it's Dick's.
I'll check it out.
Oh, I love
I've been there in a while.
No. So
A lot of good places in Phoenix to eat.
so
Nice to
many.
live here.
I don't know even what's around your place.
All kinds of shit.
Because you're up off of Glendale, aren't you? Where you at?
Yeah, 7th Avenue, just north of Glendale.
Oh, okay. Right by Doty's.
Yeah, exactly. We go to Uptown, all those areas over there a lot. So, so yeah, it's good.
You're really close to Kevin. He's right there. He's off of Myrtle.
Okay.
Is it Myrtle there north of
Yeah.
Glendale?
Yeah, it's just one of the smaller streets. I don't know exactly. I'm trying to remember where it is.
It's like 2 or 3 streets north of Glendale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So got to train you Mesa boys on the street names over here. I get so lost in Mesa now.
Yeah.
Mesa Chandler. I got actually like totally turned around Mesa. Chandler.
Chandler's crazy now, dude. I mean, I grew up there, and I go back now. I'm like, holy shit, man! Like we used to go downtown Chandler. Like there was no reason to go down there when I was growing up. In the '90s, it was like you only go down there to buy a bag of weed or something. Like there's no reason to go down. You stay out of there for the most part. I mean, now it's like that's the place to be down there. It's great.
Yeah.
Remember when they first started working on that area in the newspaper, they said they wanted to make it as walkable as Tempe, and I just laughed. It's like, there's no way it'll ever get there.
It's nowhere near as big, though.
Yeah,
as
but I mean, you
Tempe
can walk around downtown now. You couldn't do that before unless you had a whole group of people.
When I had the office, I used to work down in, when I worked in Infusionsoft, and I lived out of state. I used to stay, so sometimes I'd stay right next to our office, but then.
Oh, yeah, they were downtown Chandler, right?
Well, they were like Price and Germain. Okay. And so then I learned about San Marcos, which is only a few miles away. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that place is cool, and it's right there in downtown. And so I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm staying there.
Yeah.
They got the ostrich, the little...
Ostrich Festival?
Well, no, but there's also the speakeasy there,
Oh,
too.
yeah, that's cool. That place down
there. Yeah, that place is pretty cool.
That's really cool.
I've only played golf there. I've never been anywhere else.
I learned how to play golf there as a kid. It might be the last time I played.
I was disappointed with the golf course there.
Yeah, it's old school.
Yeah.
Simple.
Totally
yeah.
It's all eucalyptus, straight,
flat.
It's like Franny Granny.
Probably.
Yeah,
it's definitely the
I was going to
oldest
say it was like a
course in
shitty Francisco Grande.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no prize. It's no gym.
But
it's a good location though.
Yeah.
But now there's all sorts of things around it. Even South, you used to never get South Chandler. It's all farms.
No, you're staying there for the location for sure, not for the golf course sucks and the rooms kind of suck too. Mm-hmm. In there they're not.
Yeah, they're not very well updated.
Yeah, the newer hotels over by the office were definitely nicer, but
if somebody put some real money into that place, it could be a gem.
Yeah.
Sure, it will. Somebody will at some point.
I was usually maxing out a corporate card regardless, so I figured.
Not you.
You max it at a bar, max it on lift charges. So
Jimmy was a testament to me of why I will never give a sales guy a charge card.
Yeah. He's like rolls with that.
Well, we were buddies during that time, so he saw it.
I completely benefited. Yeah, I mean, it was great.
He was down for whatever, huh?
I've learned. Any of my buddies are in sales. Like, oh, is this the corporate card today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a point where like Mario's like, yeah, you don't have to pay for everything. I was like, I'm not.
I'm buying your goodwill without my money.
Yeah,
You're a customer of Infusionsoft. Yeah. Okay.
that's true. That's when I stopped feeling bad because I was like, I've been paying these guys $300 a month for 5 years.
You deserve a beer.
I will take.
You got a lot more than that.
Yeah, I got a few beers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Handful of beers out of that deal.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll just kind of leave it at that.
I paid for the staycation and stuff myself when I did that. Remember when we went over the Valley Ho?
I don't know if I believe that.
I did.
You don't have to say that. I mean, no one's watching this shit anyway. So
I'm gonna cut this shit out regardless before it gets posted. Oh man,
The headphones bother you? Do you like it?
no, I'm all right.
like I said, it does make you more
comfortable.
involved in the conversation to have them on.
I hear you so much better. I don't know, just because I'm going deaf
Yeah.
in my old age, but I find myself like really straining to listen. And with these on, I don't.
When I saw that Joe Rogan always wears them, and he said that to someone, was like, I don't really like wearing these. He's like, really, I like it a lot. I was like, fuck yeah, that's what I'm going towards.
Yeah,
Here we come.
I do like it. I do like it.
It's kind of nice to have a little boom in your ear when you're talking,
Yeah.
when you're listening. Yeah.
I'll give you a boom in your ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will.
I don't want to know what that means.
No, you don't.
Almost got a boom in my ear last night. Went out with Mario.
Gay jokes just keep on flying. Más putos.
That's the name of
That's
this
what the
podcast.
name of our podcast. Be Más putos.
A lot of content you want to put on your website
Yeah,
so far,
let's do
Adam?
it, man. Roll with this shit. Solid.
So I don't even remember what we were talking about. Adam, when we were talking the other day, what we were going to try to touch on. Because I mean, it seems like when we sit down for coffee, God damn, it just the conversations go so many different directions and in a lot of intriguing ways. I know I usually leave with thinking about a lot of different things, right? And I think you've kind of said the same thing. It's nice to just have that conversation in the morning. I think by afternoon my brain's a little fried, which
No doubt.
So
Ready for a beer.
run. Yeah.
I think one thing that was really interesting though that Adam said earlier that was you're talking about the other law firm and how they open their videos, and the fact that Google or YouTube/Google is essentially reading that every time, and what that's doing. You want to
More and more, it seems like that. Obviously Google owns YouTube, and the more and more that they've got into just mining all the content that's in there, they know what's being said now. They transcribe it automatically, even if they're not putting it out there. They do crawl those videos for the content and try and understand what's being said and what the context is. So from an SEO perspective, you definitely want to try and include some of your priority keywords into the video, and then putting them at the very front of the video, to me, seems almost like the headline or the title tag. Or
it's going to get heard that much more. I mean,
well, they know that the very first thing you say is probably the most important thing you're saying in the video. At least it's going to lead off the video. So,
well, additionally, when you look at video analytics, right? So a video that performs really well might get 65 to 75% average of view time, right?
Yeah, right.
So that means most people are not going to finish it, and that's any video that's less than, call it 2 minutes, okay? Or any video that's And so you go beyond 2 minutes, then it goes down even more, and more, and more, and more. And so you think about it, if you were going to put it in there, and obviously Google sees it and reads it when you upload the video, but then every time it's played, right? Not only are people hearing it for branding purposes, right? But Google's seeing it go through and seeing more people see it and seeing, I have to think that is making a difference. I don't have anything to back that portion up necessarily, but it makes sense because those that do go viral and things like that are also easier to find other places.
yeah.
And so, if you can get more views and that portion is on there more, then you're going to get more exposure everywhere else.
What are you saying? What's the context of what's in the video? And that's important. I think, I think, the more and more that we look at it, it's not even just how many views did it get on YouTube and things like that. Cause we're starting to look at not only that, but also when we put it onto a page, that video onto a page that has the same topic, same content. It's basically a video that is reflecting what the page is about. You have a long page blog or something, and the video is very, very much in step with that content. We're starting to see when we add the video, more views for that page, more, get better rankings for that page. It just starts to go up pretty quickly. Now, we're also adding new content when we add the video typically because we're taking what's in the video and writing some content about it and things like that. So there's probably going to be a natural jump just from that. But, from the things that I'm seeing, when we add the video, we're starting to see more and more action on the page, more views, more impressions.
Well, if you look at some of the primary metrics that Google looks at once people are already on the page, right? So obviously, in order to improve its searchability, some of the primary metrics are time spent on the page and clicks on the page, right? And so naturally, if clicking on a video, clicking on something there is one of those things, and then if they watch it, it only makes sense that they're going to spend more time on the page and then hopefully start reading, and doing more. Like, I mean, that's I feel like that's common sense, but sometimes it is difficult for people to grasp.
Yeah, it's hard to sometimes think like Google. You have to like, what would Google want to see here?
Yeah.
What would they want to happen? And so we have to kind of look at it that way and try and understand what would be a good signal. What would happen on this page that Google would like if they clicked on the phone number? Well, of course they're going to like that. Or if they click on the contact us button or some other call to action, or they fill out a form. We know that those things are helpful, and then watching videos is obviously there, and then adding more time.
What kind of metric is in there? I mean, what's the metric called for time on a page? I mean, what is it? Just time on page?
Time on page, yeah.
Specifically?
And then the other category would be number of pages viewed, right? So that's also where if you had call to actions to take a look at other things on the site, I mean, that would be the next evolution, right? Obviously, first you just want to keep them there, both for your benefit and to appease the Google gods. But then if there was something on there to get them to go to, hey, if you found this interesting, click below to find something else.
Here's chapter 2.
Like you said, that's
that's
the next evolution, obviously. But it's still, if they can then view 2 or 3 pages on your site, then like Google really likes that.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I assume all these metrics are tracked. Like you can just kind of you see that,
and that's one of the things about Google Analytics 4 was what they're using to just track a lot of that stuff a lot better. So yeah, absolutely. I think time on page is becoming more and more of a factor. They want to see that that people are engaged. If they could just click to your site and then click back to the search results, and then go to somewhere else, that's not quality signal.
Which is again though where the video being there. Totally. Them going to the page, seeing a video, and then at least starting the video. Now you at least increase their time from 2 seconds to, let's call it 20 seconds, right? Because they at least start and listen to, hey, what's going on here? Even if they press pause and click off the page, you just 10x'd your view time for those little people. And it's not that those are going to make the difference from a conversion perspective, but Google sees that. And that increases their trust in you.
Mm-hmm. So on your blog pages, Adam, I mean, is it when they scroll down to that video portion, is it something that triggers an autoplay, or they have to click on it, and so that gives that metric?
Most of the time, we're trying to put the video right under the headline, so it's usually pretty much at the top, unless it's the home page. But if it's an internal page, it's usually headline, video, and then content.
So again, are you doing the autoplay?
No, we're not doing autoplay. It's YouTube embeds usually, so we just put it on there and let them push play.
Do you think I should change the one that I put on our homepage from autoplay to clickable instead?
I don't know from what perspective.
That's
like,
a
are you
WordPress
talking about a
thing
usability
that makes it autoplay.
thing?
No, because I have it.
So WordPress.
I have a default.
You're not using the YouTube embed. You're using like a WordPress plug. Like you're just.
No, it's a YouTube embed, but it's so in Elementor it gives you the option to make it autoplay and make it loop.
Right.
So I have it autoplaying, looping, but I have audio off as a default. So they actually have to click to have audio on, but it's and the only reason is just so there's something moving
I get
on the page so they realize it's a video.
From a user standpoint, I don't like that, because now if I want to watch that video, then I have to turn the audio on and I have to rewind it.
I could change it.
Because, now I have to.
That makes sense.
I want to see the beginning.
That makes sense.
I don't want to jump in the middle after it's already been playing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that is from an
It makes my
SEO
thumbnail.
standpoint.
It makes my thumbnail completely worthless. As
Your
far
thumbnail
as
shows there instead of
no, it doesn't because the video is already playing. So the thumbnail would show if the video wasn't playing.
If it was paused, you'd see the thumbnail, which
you're
I think is
absolutely
a
right.
better call to action. Like it makes people want to.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So it's all about user experience.
Yeah, user experience is huge. I think
sense.
not only, and that's why Google prioritizes it so much because that's what they care about. They don't give a shit about your content, really. They just want to. If
what's keeping you on the page?
If somebody actually likes what and they're engaged with it, that's what they care about. So I think usability. If you have that mindset, you're always going to have good SEO because you that's what Google cares about. And I know also from my perspective as a user, that's the way I like it. I like to be able to go there and push play myself and when I want to watch that video, especially if it has a good thumbnail that tells me what it's going to be about. Because if it's playing, I don't even know what that video is about. It's just some guy talking. And so but if I see the thumbnail and it has your big headline on the thumbnail and stuff like that, then I say, oh yeah, that looks good.
I quote Heath Ledger from the Joker as the Joker on the thumbnails.
Oh, yeah.
Why so serious?
Oh, there you go. I'm sure a lot of people would watch that. They want to hear what you're saying.
It's done well on other platforms.
You calling me serious?
So the videos that get indexed, my understanding is primarily YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter, right? Have indexable videos through Google. But what I don't like is Twitter defaults to audio off on their platform as a whole. And so really it's those two that have indexable automatic audio on, because I feel like audio off, like on the website. The reason I did it, reason I did it was to make it not annoying when people go there.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's someone yelling at them.
But on social, you expect that as you're swiping through. You
exactly.
Yeah.
But again, if you click through to a Twitter video, it still defaults. If your Twitter app opens on your phone, it defaults to audio off.
Doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense.
Never on Twitter.
Yeah, but that's what happens. Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Is it Twitter still?
what's that? X. Oh. Yeah, to X. Sorry, Adam.
Formerly
known.
Formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I do feel like those two platforms, as far as from a real video strategy, those two platforms are the most important for a business.
Which two?
YouTube, obviously, because it's Google, and then TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Instagram? No.
I don't. Instagram does not seem to index the same way that those two do.
You mean index in Google's results?
If you search for stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you search.
Yeah,
those are the three.
Yeah.
That show up. So your videos, once you upload them to those platforms, are actually indexed through Google.
Yeah.
As well. So which again, from a branding perspective, is valuable.
And then again, the big question here is how does that tie into SEO, right?
Well,
I mean, that's my world. So yeah, so that's always what I'm going to look at. But
if you have your website linked to your social, it directly ties to SEO.
Yeah, there's always if you get that whole circle going where it's like going back and forth. And I'd like to, because as you guys know, you guys are doing a lot of the videos for our personal injury clients. So, and we're doing SEO and always trying to improve that. So, and like I told you guys that we're putting some of these videos on the page and we're rewriting them and seeing some improvement. I'd like to do some A/B testing where we just do some content updates without a video.
Yeah.
And then we do content updates with a video and see if we can, because there's got to be, I want to see the correlation there with adding those. Because so for us, like with this client specifically, we have hundreds of old blogs that are kind of crappy old blogs that they've had for years. And so for us, the lowest hanging fruit for us to make improvements in their search and their number of visits they get is to take those old posts that are already ranking on Google, but maybe they're number 9 or 10. And then we refresh those pages, keep the same URL, same headline, just add new content on it. And we're seeing it's a lot easier to just get a big jump. So we're doing that more and more, and that's our strategy for 2024 for that client is to just update a lot of their old blogs, make them more useful, make them more helpful, make them more in the tone of the attorney, and stuff like that. So we're trying to follow all the latest best practices. So we're doing that, but when we add the video, I mean, so far we've noticed a nice jump when we add that. So I want to do some A/B testing, and we'll see see if there's much of a difference if we add video or not.
I always say there's no crappy blogs, just crappy writers putting them out.
Well, yeah. There was, this is stuff from back in, 2014, 2015, like it was quantity. That's all we want. I mean, sorry. Quantity, not quality. So we just wanted to get as much out there as possible. That's why we put hundreds of blogs out there.
How long have you been doing this?
And it worked. So we've been building websites since 1999, doing SEO since early 2000.
Always in the legal realm?
No, I've always had a legal client, it seems. But now I'm focused a lot more on legal and really trying to become just more focused on ways to rank lawyers and get more legal clients just because I enjoy it. It is the most competitive area for SEO on the internet, right? Legal marketing, legal SEO. So that excites me. That gets me going. I want to compete. I'm a competitive person, so I want to get in there and try and rank those sites that are hard to rank.
Do most of the attorneys that you come across, are they like, I want to do paid ads versus organic versus the SEO?
Some of them have an idea of what they want. Most of the time they want clients. They want clients. And then so I advise them. And so I like paid ads. Paid ads work too. So we typically will put a combination together. We know that paid ads will work next week as soon as we turn it on. So if they want clients right away, we're gonna do that also. Especially local service ads, those work really well for attorneys, and there's not a lot to them. There's only a few levers you can pull, to even make those work. So we try, and if we get a new client, and they want leads right away, they want clients right away, we'll probably turn on local service ads within the first week of getting them as a client. And then we work on the SEO. We know it's going to take us a month to put a really solid strategy together and a plan together. And then we know after that, it's going to take a few months to really start to see some impact and get some new cases in. So in order to get some quick wins for our clients, we always recommend paid ads also if they have the budget for it, And so we kind of have to figure out the best way to work their budget into doing SEO and paid ads. But, paid ads definitely work. They're very expensive though for lawyers. I mean,
oh yeah, it's got to be through the roof.
Yeah, it's over $100 a click sometimes. So it's you've got to have a good ad and have a good landing page and convert those people.
And that's where I love working with partnering with firms like yours specifically is that you're great at driving organic traffic over time, driving paid traffic when needed, right? Where I nerd out and where I think we nerd out is on two things. One on social organic, which is definitely different, right? But then even more so on conversion. And once they get to that landing page, doing things and putting things on there and testing to actually make more people fill out a form or take the call to action or take whatever that is. And taking those metrics and making changes and stuff like that. I think so many clients miss the boat because they'll come in, record, they'll spend way too much time and money on their initial VSL, let's say, right? Without doing any testing before to test the language that they're going to use throughout that VSL to see what works and what doesn't, what resonates with their audience and what doesn't, and they just either shoot from the hip or use ChatGPT or whatever to write their script, and it's really not. There's not a lot of intelligent thought that went in, or any testing that went into that. It's all based on their gut.
What do you usually recommend then? How do you guys usually go about it?
I mean, for me, what I find has worked over time is testing when you have a one-to-many audience. So that could be through organic social. That could be on a webinar. That could be in a speaking engagement. That could be wherever, right? The one thing I used to do a lot when I did a lot of webinars, because I had a lot of people on there, and then even more people got the replay. And so I would use Wistia to see where people backed up, where people listened to multiple parts, and where people fast forwarded through. You can get all those statistics through Wistia. It's great because then you could look back at the presentation and say, all right, well, what did I say here? What was because everyone was at the beginning. And then you can use that and then start tweaking other things in between, and then watch once you change the replay out how it's performing again.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I love improving things like that through some type of analytic review and things like that. I think that's a great way to do it. What about thumbnails? I mean, do you guys test those very often? I know
I see not as much as I should. But I do. So one of our clients has a massive YouTube channel, right? So it's they got a few channels, probably about 10 million followers across all of them. And the number one piece of advice that he gives to people who are getting started and wanting to go is to focus on the thumbnail and get a face on the thumbnail for one, and focus on making sure that their eyes look like they're looking at the camera or the person scrolling, right? And that's something that he's tested over and over and over again. So it's a family channel, but the dad, for example, he says, we've tested it more times than I can count. If I'm on there, it's getting about 60% less click through than if his wife or one of his kids are on there.
Wow.
Right? And so...
Poor guy. That might make him feel bad.
No, he's a fat slob. He doesn't care.
He's a dad. Do we really care about any of that? Yeah. We pick and choose our battles.
He's making a lot of money. He's good with it.
Yeah. Good for him.
But
hey, he knows what works.
That's
like,
right.
Let's go with that.
That's right. Yeah. And if he was sitting here, he would love that I said that. Yeah. So there's no problems there. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but the thumbnails for us is not something that we've tested a whole lot of. I will say though, without a shadow of a doubt, the videos that have thumbnails get more views. So I've got another podcast that I'm a part of that just started with a friend. You know, we're joking around the whole time and stuff like that. When I look at our long form, the ones that have thumbnails that say say something, even imply what it's about, or just say the episode number, right? But just if they have a thumbnail, they tend to get more views because on a 45, 50-minute video, right, you're getting your views over time. Yeah. They're not falling in all in one day like a YouTube short, right? And so, but with that, they continue to build over time and build more and more and more and more. And even some of our other videos that are not that long. So sometimes like when him and I will do stand up, we'll post our set on there. When I just post the video, it'll do all right. But when I post a thumbnail with, even though it's not an actual image of the video,
so it's like comedy,
at all.
Comedies.
Yeah. Stand-up comedy, stand-up live, turkey show, stuff like that. It'll get more traction quicker.
Makes sense.
And likely will more over time. It's a new channel. So
it doesn't make sense to me at all.
You're gonna watch something that just is vague and you don't know what it's about. You're gonna just jump right into it.
Well, I guess I get more intrigued with the look of the character I'm looking at.
Well, there's still a picture of me on there.
Is there?
And then I'll look.
How could I leave my face off?
And then I'll
Mario?
typically look at the caption.
Yeah.
If I see something going like, okay, what's going on here? Whether it's a funny looking human being or a good looking woman, or like, in Jimmy's case, funny looking human being. That's why I'd be like, oh, what's this bearded guy up to over here? But, and he's laughing. What's he laughing about? And then I'd read the caption personally.
But you're talking about the caption, okay? So the caption is multifaceted in that like your caption and your description are there more for searchability, okay? Your thumbnail and the words on your thumbnail are there to tell the person what it's about, because those words are bigger and the caption's really small.
And if you're on your phone and you're scrolling through a channel, I mean, you're looking at thumbnails. You're not reading. And the only
you do it. You just don't realize it, Mario.
I guess I've gotten but I've also I think I've gotten TikTok trained.
Yeah, you have.
Right. Honestly, there aren't thumbnails there. It's just somebody going in and they're talking about something.
It goes right into it.
Mario's just midget stripper. In
the beginning.
Why are they serving me all these midgets?
That's how it all began. I didn't recognize it, buddy told me that either. It's so true. And I was like, damn, he's right. Stop this. Don't like. So finally, it's
how did I get subscribed to that?
Mm-hmm. But never do I look at thumbnail. But I'm also never on YouTube unless I'm specifically, how do I fix this?
That's different.
I go there specifically for a purpose, not for just viewing entertainment.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know TikTok very well as far as publishing. Can you even put a thumbnail on it?
No, but you can put a little. It's not really a thumbnail. It's like a title. More of with like that goes over it, but only when someone's on your page.
Yeah.
Would they ever see that?
Right.
So not when they're scrolling.
In their feed, yeah.
But the difference there, though, and you can't even do that on YouTube Shorts, because YouTube Shorts is obviously there to compete with TikTok, right? But there's still a lot of people in general who won't go to TikTok, right? Whether it's for political reasons or whatever.
It's the devil.
Yeah, right.
Trying to consume my time, so I'm not productive in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is ironic.
Isn't that just social media as a whole?
Well, or
when people tell me that,
or because of China, or
Yeah,
because of stuff like that's more. That's more of the reason.
China's
which
getting
is funny
information.
because like Meta actually has been caught doing everything that they're accusing.
Right.
Like caught red-handed doing everything that they're accusing TikTok of doing.
It's a corporation.
And
it's not a government. You know?
There's
So
zero.
that's the
There's
big
zero
difference.
evidence of TikTok doing any of that.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah. So it's. But yeah, thumbnails are important. I wish that. And eventually, I will probably have a channel where we can do more testing like that, because I think that'd be valuable in testing colors and stuff like that. But right now, it's just go into Canva, create a thumbnail.
So I see all these guys talk about their thumbnails and how we switched the thumbnail and it went up. So does it work where you can actually change the thumbnail later?
Yeah,
and then see the difference.
You can change almost anything. So that is another difference.
Other than the video.
On YouTube, you can change anything but the video.
Everything but the video. Yeah.
Yeah, like
So you can let it run for a while and then you change the thumbnail and see what happens.
I've changed a word and it's spiked before. A word in the title.
In the title. Wow.
Yeah. So like on one with my podcast with Ryan's like, hey dude, you misspelled something in the title. And I was like, well, I'm not going to worry about it. And then it sat there for like hours, like 5 views. I was like, shit. All right. So I got in there, changed it, and then it went up to like 4,000 views. I was like, oh.
It is amazing how sensitive these platforms are. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're really,
didn't know
really
what to do
touchy.
with it.
Yeah, these algorithms are really.
YouTube had no idea what to do with it.
Yeah, who's this moron that posted this?
Well, and me being a guy who doesn't understand any of it, who needs guys like you guys who are, really paying attention to the details, on the technicalities of what's going on, whether it's SEO, whether it's YouTube and all that stuff. It's so damn confusing just being an average business guy out there in the world of the digital marketing space. I mean, even being in it, being a partner in a video marketing company, it's been such a steep learning curve. I just, there's no wonder that I was so lost and confused. I look at our first conversations and
I remember.
And I still feel lost. I'll sit down with you guys and I still, like, it just blows me away.
I think that's why in 2024 for me, one of the things I want to do is actually, I want to put a lot more content out there about the basics. Here's the basics of SEO for law firms, or here's the breaking down the search results page. Okay, you've got your ads, you've got your local service ads, you've got your maps, you've got the little snippets, you've got the organic results. So just showing, here's all the places that lawyers can show up in Google when someone says lawyer near me or whatever. There's a lot of different places you can show up, and you have to have a different strategy for each one of those places.
Right.
And if you can do all of them, you can dominate. So it's I think there's a lot of people that don't even understand that there's all those different areas and opportunities on a page. It's not just the old school get my page to rank. That's actually getting pushed down the page more. You've got all these other things up at the top of the page. So
I was noticing that the other day. I was like, wow, the organic stuff has really been pushed down.
Yeah. And they're testing. I saw the other day they had like 5 results organically above the maps. So, you see, Google's always testing stuff, but yeah, for the most part, the organic gets pushed down. And
they're going to get as much money as they can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like with any social platform is going to run as many ads as possible before people start abandoning the platform, right? As soon as view time starts going down, and they're like, oh crap, people are tired of seeing
how many
these
can they run
ads,
before it goes down? Yeah.
Why does it seem like finding anybody who works for Google is like finding the Hobbit, right? It's it's like a unicorn out there.
I mean, even Facebook. Like
YouTube's been around for so long, and Google. I mean, it seems like there'd be a billion of those guys.
When we had
so seldom. When was the last time you ran across somebody other than Leonard?
Other than Leonard, yeah, no. I know 2 now that work for TikTok though. Two Americans.
I can think of one other guy I know, but he was sold for Google.
Yeah, Joe, and then a girl that I worked at Infusionsoft with now just got a job at TikTok.
Well, how many people do you know that have actually worked for one of these major?
Nobody anymore. I mean, I used to know some people back in the early 2000s that were working there. They were working remote in Phoenix for
It's like looking for Sasquatch, man.
I guess we know two. Yeah, Leonard and Jeff, his brother.
Jeff worked there.
Yeah. They worked there together. Yeah, they both got jobs at like the age of 50 at Google, and they said that they think that they made the interns movie about them.
The old intern.
I can see them thinking that.
What were they just trying to get some variety, some age variety going on in there?
Leonard retired with a pension and then went and got a job at Google.
There you go.
Not sure how they pulled that one off, but diversity hires.
Yeah.
They weren't ageist anymore.
I need a U.S. Marshal.
They don't want to be
somebody
accused
with
of that.
no experience over here. We want to see if we can take this retired marshal
Yeah.
to
We're looking
a
for
technical perspective.
Perspectives, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Leonard worked at a federal prison, retired from there, went and got a job at Google.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now owns his own firm.
Now you know what to put on the
Frugal
resume.
Marketing. It's a good company.
Really?
Yeah.
Paid ads competitor of you.
Was that
Yeah.
right? So he went from the prison to Google to owning his own agency?
I guess Google encourages that.
Okay.
So they want people to work for them for 4 to 6 years and then go start agencies to service the clients.
makes sense.
Yeah, it
Makes
makes perfect
total
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
I wish it was the opposite way because every time I talk to like a rep from Google or something, they usually don't know what the shit they're talking about.
Yeah. Well, they're still learning. They're not ready to start their own agency yet.
They're always turning on stuff that just gives me more clicks and less clients.
Well, they can pay them less if they keep them dumb.
Yeah, I guess nobody cares about clicks, huh?
Yeah, it just spends more money. It doesn't, if it gives me the wrong click,
Yeah.
just the bottom line isn't as good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's
All right. So we're back.
back
Here
to
we
talk
go.
about America's team. Did I hear we're talking sports now? We're shifting gears.
Shifting gears to Cowboys.
from marketing to America's team.
Yeah, I'll be cutting that out. If you're talking about the Cowboys.
Well, we'll just talk about
I don't know, unless you want to talk about
Like a
the
first round
ass
exit?
kicking that they always get from the Arizona Cardinals, the greatest team in the NFL.
I think I mentioned to you that last night that I just chalk up if I know when we're playing cards that week that it's just a guaranteed loss.
There's a loss.
Yeah.
It's just for whatever reason.
They might not win another game the whole season.
F you guys.
And that's all
but
that matters.
We're gonna go
Honestly.
and dominate the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It won't even be close.
No.
We'll miss 2 separate 2-point conversions that we didn't need and still beat the crap out of you guys.
Yeah, no lube or nothing. It's just always
I know.
it's painful.
And
Yeah.
this year, I didn't go to the game this year. I went with you over to the bar instead of going to the game. And I, damn,
Oh,
I
that was
missed
the game we
one.
watched.
That was probably better.
Maybe. It was fun. It was fun to.
You guys were watching it at the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Cool
fun to
beers.
let him in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him have it a little bit. But yeah, it would have been
Appreciate
a
the
fun
invite,
game.
guys.
And he came in so humble too.
Oh,
yeah?
He did. He's like, oh, I know you guys are gonna kick
Cardinals
our ass.
Cardinals suck.
Cowboys look great. Cardinals are so bad this year. And
They were.
We're just
man.
watching this game unfold and fold and fold. Big
I was
monster
like-
smile
I
on
was like-
Adam's face.
I was like,
fourth
wow,
quarter.
you guys will come back probably. Shit. I mean, I've had season tickets since '98, so I've watched a lot of bad Cardinal football, in person and seen it all. And this year was got to be the worst. Like I was so indifferent. I didn't even care about the season for the first. I always care.
Me neither.
No matter what. I mean, we win or lose, we still booze. So I always have a good time at those things. But this year was by far the worst feeling I had going into a season, just like because we didn't even have Kyler Murray for most of the season. I knew that they just dumped McCoy before the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, there's not much to look forward to.
I don't
this
know
year.
why we got rid of Colt McCoy.
Yeah, I don't.
That makes no sense to
It
me.
kind of felt like they just didn't want somebody to
Like,
to do well. It's like
this guy might win some
he
games.
might squeak one out, and he probably would have. Like some of those games that we lost in the very beginning of the season, they were battling, and they just
Got
couldn't
rid, got rid of Dobbs right when he started
know.
doing well.
Who's their backup now?
They've got Clayton Tune.
Yeah, Clayton Tune.
So is it? Do you think they're going for well, they're not going for a QB.
No.
What did you say?
I-
They got number 4 pick.
They got number 4, man.
Number 4 and then
We can
number,
only
what, 10?
No, it's way worse.
Is it?
Because the Texans got into the playoffs,
that's
so we don't even know where it's at,
dickheads.
but it's like 20 plus. So, but yeah, I mean, our best hope, because we're number 4, is that all 3 people above us go quarterback.
Then we got Marvin Harris Jr.
Yeah, that's our best hope, because that'd be
that'd be amazing.
I'd be so happy.
But I think the Bears are going to pick him up. To be honest,
so?
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to stick with what's his
with
name?
Fields?
Yeah,
They're both they're both Ohio State guys too. So
yeah, they're trying to pair him up.
yeah, I mean, I think
He looks strong.
That's
man.
a wise pick for them.
The Cardinals ass. He looked strong the whole finish of the
Everyone
season.
talks about. Everyone was talking about them trading him off. I think he's a good quarterback. They just have a shitty team.
Well, he's got a bad completion percentage, and he's got a terrible win.
He's got no line, no receivers, no, like.
I mean, but everybody said that about the QB that went to the Texans this year, the rookie.
He's pretty damn good out of Ohio State as well.
He got them to the playoffs, and he looks like
incredible
a stud. Yeah, so like
gotta win MVP.
Like, they were saying, he doesn't have it. Like he's going to be a good
rookie
quarterback.
of the year. He should be MVP.
Yeah, he's got nobody around him. Honestly, so like somehow he made it work. So like, I think that's the thing about the good QBs is they elevate those guys even if they're not that good. So. I mean, Chicago's definitely got to take a look and say, this is probably our only opportunity to be number 1, and
yeah, that's true.
So,
and Chicago probably has what, number 1 and number maybe 10, 12, something like that.
Yeah, they've got their pick
for their pick. Yeah, because they got the North Carolina's pick.
Yeah,
and then
yeah. So that's and honestly, so let's say that they do take him. Well, the next 2 are going quarterback, right?
Yeah,
you got
the next 2 are for sure.
And Washington, Washington and New England, and then the Cardinals. So then at that point,
there's a possibility they'll pull a QB.
Who?
Bears.
Yeah, and if they don't, then there's still, because there's 3 QBs in the draft. They're kind of like top 3 QBs. Yeah. If they don't, then the Cardinals might as well. If they can't get Harrison, you're probably going to trade that pick to a quarterback needy team. So at that point, if Harrison's already gone, then you got a lot more value.
Yeah, maybe you do just
then that fourth pick is a lot of value.
Yeah, but receivers have been going pretty high in the draft recently, or lower depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, but you're not going to get 2 receivers in the top 4. That's crazy. So if the receiver goes number 1, and then I think then that number 4 pick becomes very valuable, and you can trade out of that and get some.
You think the receivers going to be a number 1 pick?
That's very possible.
Could be. He's
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, he's almost a guaranteed. About as good as it gets.
Yeah. He's like, it's like drafting like a Fitzgerald or something.
He's the number 1 player in a draft.
Yeah.
If you don't think about quarterbacks or whatever, he's definitely the number 1 player. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean,
but you're right. If they don't, the other 2 probably won't. Most likely won't.
No, they're getting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah, you're right. We got a chance still.
So either they get Marvin Harrison, or they can trade out of that and somebody gets a quarterback and they get some capital.
It'd be amazing if we got him.
I would be stoked. And then if you
got a rookie as your number 1 quarterback, more or less, right?
Yeah, and then you get some nice help around him because you got that other first rounder from the Texans. Maybe you get an offensive lineman or defensive lineman or maybe a corner with the other second round pick or the other first round pick, and then you got a top second round pick. So they could. The Cardinals could bounce back. I'm glad that we turned this into a Cardinals podcast. This is cool. Mario,
you guys have definitely gotten pretty chatty over
Mario
here.
2/3 of us hate the Cowboys.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's been a long drought.
And the other one's kind of indifferent. Even though he's a fan.
You know what's kind of great about being a Cowboys fan right now? It's like even my Steelers family are like rooting for the Cowboys right now. They just want the rivalry back, right? Yeah. They're so tired. They're like, they almost feel. It's almost like a pity party for a Cowboys fan right now. They're like, oh, it's nice to see you guys finally maybe at least making the playoffs. Let's see if you can get a win, but they're still rooting for us to get in there just so we can have the rivalry back.
When's the last time they won a playoff game?
28 years ago.
Right. It might have been against the Cardinals in like 98.
No, we won that one.
No,
when we had Jake Plummer, we beat him in the wild card.
That's true. And then we lost to the Vikings.
Yeah, I was in 9th grade. I remember.
I remember that
definitely
too.
Pushing 30 years.
I was at the game that got us into the playoffs. It was against the Chargers.
Okay, yeah.
And I was at ASU Stadium, and that's what got them into the playoffs. And they went to Dallas. They beat Dallas. They went up to they got killed by Randy Moss and
Jake Plummer's rookie year.
Yeah, that was fun. It was a lot of fun.
He did well at ASU and then did well over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has turned into a sports podcast.
I know, right?
Perfect. Got to mix it up. Who the hell wants to sit there and talk about marketing?
I know.
Come on.
But yeah, I also think it's only Arizona Cardinals fans that live in Arizona that think of the Cowboys as a rivalry. I don't think anyone in Dallas thinks of Arizona Cardinals as a rival.
They're scared.
They should.
They should.
Now.
I went to a game. Me and my
Eat
brothers.
their lunch every
The
time.
struggle is real.
Yeah. We went to the game. We went to at Jerry's World. We went to the Cardinals. And they played. We won, of course. But it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of
Subtly
fun.
throwing them there, of course.
One, of course.
Of course.
It's the Cardinals. They always win against the Cowboys. If we played the Cowboys every game,
You'd be undefeated.
it'd be so good.
He's so good.
Play the Cowboys every game.
That's funny. Yeah. Well. Okay, so back to marketing. This conversation sucks. I thought marketing was stale. This is bullshit. Oh well. Yeah, well. How about CD Lamb? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I do like CeeDee Lamb. He's probably my favorite player on the Cowboys.
Yeah,
He's good.
They're looking good. But I don't. Being a Cowboys fan, it's hard to get my hopes up.
And the good news is we did get a 36-minute, marketing podcast recorded.
Yeah.
So
We can still cut
Got
out.
the quota.
All right, team. So cut out between 30. Well, actually, leave all the good Cowboys banter.
We talk about Chandler a little bit and then Cowboys. Yeah. That's a good podcast.
That's like a
true.
good
We did
Ostrich
talk
festival.
about downtown Chandler for a while too. Drinking down
Lots
there.
to talk about.
God, yeah, I mean, we are.
I think the bottom line, even getting back to just Phoenix cities, though, is like Phoenix has become legit. All those suburb cities, Gilbert's become
Downtown
real.
Gilbert's
Chandler.
cool. Yeah.
Mesa still seems to be sucking ass.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I'm surprised. That was the one I thought was in the lead
Yeah.
after, because the Old Town Scottsdale has always been the spot, right, for people when they come here. And then I thought Mesa might be the next one.
Well, it's right down the road from Tempe. Maybe that's hurting them. I don't know. But it's like they revitalized downtown like when I was in high school.
Mesa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
And
like it got
then
revitalized in the 60s.
It looks the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Never
It's
took
like-
off.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, and they won't approve liquor licenses. They won't like that's the real problem.
Well, that's probably a
Is like
religious thing.
unless you buy a property that has one, which there's very few.
Right.
Like you got a snowball's chance in hell of getting a new one. Even now.
There might be a little religious influence.
Even
in
after
Mesa.
but
Definitely
Gilbert
is.
is probably higher populated than Mesa.
Their downtown is,
And their downtown's popping.
yeah.
Popping.
Although I don't.
John Lewis pushed that through
I got to tell you, I don't. Of all the
Friend of mine, he was
downtowns
mayor.
in the
Yeah.
valley,
when they did that.
Gilbert's the one I like the least. It just seems, I don't know. It just seems fabricated.
It seems like- yeah, it does seem like an Arizona
it's
Disneyland.
very commercial.
Yeah,
it's very
right?
commercialized.
I don't know why. I mean, they
Right.
all
They-
have chains,
they-
but that one seems the most.
They
Like, just-
copied everything in downtown Phoenix and just kind of put in one
yeah.
little cluster.
It's like, is this even real? I don't know. Downtown Phoenix, though, man, that is.
Oh,
I can't believe what they did. Like that. Talk about a place. When I was in high school, you go downtown to a Suns game, and you don't even get out of the car. You
Yeah.
go to the game and you leave. Maybe there was a Hooters right
Pawn
there.
shop, liquor store, porn shop.
Yeah, that's it. You drive down Van Buren just to look at the
Repeat.
hookers, and then you go home. Like there was no reason to be downtown. So like, but now, man, it is amazing. And so it's been that way for a while, for the last several years. But now I can't believe it. Seems like the whole the whole Old Town Scottsdale party scene, has moved to downtown now. I couldn't believe the lines, like in some, the Cobra
Yeah.
Bar. Have you been to the Cobra Bar?
Yep.
Really cool place. A bunch of arcades and stuff. I thought it's not. Man, I went there recently. There was like an hour wait to get in the damn place, and it's wrapped around the whole side of the. They got DJ outside just playing it for all the people in the line.
We went down there to go to Valley Bar, and it was way too long of a line. And so we went to Cornish, which is right next door, and there was still a line to get into freaking Cornish. It's a restaurant. It's not even a real bar.
And Cornish is big. That's
It is
three.
big.
It's three levels.
Yeah. No.
Have you been down in the basement?
There was still. Yeah, I've been. I've been. Come on. Who are you talking to?
It's his favorite spot.
I didn't realize you really went down. I didn't think you went downtown much.
Well, I don't all the time, but when I do, I get around.
So
He goes right to the basement.
there's a lot to get around in downtown Phoenix.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's a blast.
They've done an amazing job. They've done an amazing job.
I think ASU, bringing in ASU helps out a lot.
Absolutely. All those areas over there.
But you're not only seeing kids running around. I mean, there's all ages. It gets a little young.
You remember how far we had to go to hit a bar though when we were going to that conference?
Yeah, from the Hilton.
Yeah. I mean, we had to walk like half a mile.
We were discussing.
A damn
We had
bar.
to
It was
walk
right by
like
ASU.
three blocks. We're like, who in the hell doesn't have a bar right by the campus?
Yeah.
Kids don't drink like we used to, though.
Wait, you mean downtown? In that campus? There was no bars right there?
Not the direction we went.
Yeah.
Not going north or west.
If you would have gone down, if you would have gone south, you're going to go towards the Sun State.
Yeah,
There's all
south-
like
south
Marley's.
would've been
I
there.
We
think
started
Marley's was
walking the
right
wrong
there.
way.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying because you're either hanging around the Roosevelt area, you know, and there's a ton in between,
All
like
that stuff
Angels
around
Trump.
cityscape and stuff too. Like that.
Yeah.
That stuff's all awesome.
Yeah.
I never go there anymore. You
I
know,
haven't, I haven't been there either.
Copper
used to-
Blue is always fun.
I really enjoyed
Yeah.
the Roosevelt, you know, that area
too.
and south of Roosevelt a little bit.
Well, that's where my office is.
Right.
So like that's, I mean, I all that stuff feels like
You
home to
work
me.
from home.
Well, I still have an office. I worked
okay.
down there for 6 years. I still have the office there, but I work mostly from
He was in
home.
the Wallace and Ladmo building.
Yeah. Do you know Wallace and Ladmo? Are you?
No.
You're not that. You're,
What?
How old? Are you?
Oh, you're talking about the little claymation thing?
No. It's talking about the kids
Wallace and
show.
Ladmo.
Like you've heard of the Bozo show, right? For kids.
No, I don't even know. What,
You know, from in Chicago, they had it was like Wallace and Ladmo, but in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's just the Bozo the
It's like
clown.
comedy skits, like and things like that. You know, like it's like a it's like
Ladmo
a-
bags. You've never heard of a Ladmo bag?
No idea what
You never heard of Ladmo? You grew up in Arizona and you don't even know what a Ladmo bag is.
Wow.
Man, that's sad.
Sorry, old guys.
Yeah, I guess you just made us both feel pretty old there.
Real old. Anyway, yeah. So that building
And non-bearded.
yes, we feel real bad about that. So yeah, that building is actually the building that my office is in was the first TV studio in Arizona.
Okay.
And it's on First Avenue, so they call it First Studio. And so we've got a bunch of creative companies that work out of there. And it's also a gallery. So every first Friday they open it up and put a bunch of art in there, and people come in and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. But they've got but it was Wallace and Ladmo. So they've got it's a mural on the side of it, Wallace and Ladmo, and Gerald. So I mean, I don't know how how you don't know
Who's
that
Gerald?
either.
He sounds exciting.
Joking, right? On the Wallace and Ladmo show, the one that was kind of like you didn't know if it was a boy or a girl.
I don't remember.
It was Pat McMahon who played.
Oh, I do remember Pat.
yeah.
Yes.
he played several people on that show, but that was like his.
He
main
was one of his
character.
characters?
Yeah, it was his main character. Like you didn't know if it was a bratty girl or a bratty boy or whatever it was.
It is kind of neat. I enjoyed walking through that building.
Yeah, it's a lot of history.
It was it was neat. I could see that being a great creative spot.
It is a fun,
So you
creative
still have an
spot.
office there.
Yeah. Those people are great. Yeah, the people that own it are great.
So you just keep paying rent because they're great people?
Yeah, well, I don't pay as much rent anymore.
not
They
a-
kind of downsized me, and so I told them I'm just going to be. I want to use the office. I want to have a space here, but I don't need the whole area that I had. And so I just downsized it, and I still have my address there and stuff. I get my mail there and everything like that. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
When the wife gets mad at you, gives you a place
man,
Yeah.
doghouse.
to run.
Yeah,
We got a couple couches here if you need it.
yeah.
You know?
well,
Yeah, we're here for you.
It's a little
nice to know.
closer.
It's nice to know. I know all my kids are gone now, so like we definitely and I work from home, so it's like she's not used to that, so she gets tired of me. And
Yeah.
it's nice to get away sometimes.
Get tired of you? Come on.
Yeah, you're a pretty nice guy.
doesn't go the
I
other
don't
way.
see that happen.
I never get tired of her.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah,
Mario and I see getting tired of. You're a pretty nice guy.
yeah. You get tired of Mario?
Yeah. We get tired of each other all the time.
Oh, yeah. It's a real.
Yeah, it's part of being in business together. It's like a marriage.
Yeah. Yeah, we see eye to eye all the time.
Except for, we don't hold it against each other. That's the difference.
Yeah.
With,
It's a beautiful thing of our marriage.
Sounds like a good marriage.
Yeah, it's not bad. You know, if
You do some fucked up shit, and they don't hold it against
if
you.
it wasn't
Oh,
for the
that's great.
sodomy, I'd go for it. You know,
I am against it. He's right. That's his problem. Keeps begging. I'm like, nope, not gonna happen.
still an exit only, Jimmy.
Just head.
Yep. Nothing like that beard. Take a
Got a lot of usable content here.
trout run. This is kind of the problem without having a planning. If you're gonna actually do a podcast, you know.
I will say that's one thing that was somewhat surprising with Mike, right? Is like how prepared they actually are for their podcasts
Mike?
and stuff. So I worked with him for a while, and then just before partnering with Mario, and then then that company hired us as their kind of video people, and he worked there then. But Mario before that had been out to the bar with Mike several times, and Mario had some major concerns. And then we went into the meeting where we were talking about, all right, we're going to be working with you guys, we're going to work with your PR firm, we're going to, you know what I mean? Like Mike had orchestrated all that. And Mario's like, wow, he's actually kind of a business guy too. I was like, well, yeah, you always see like drunk Mike, not business Mike. The
guy's rowdy.
The dude can't. Yeah. Oh yeah, but he can turn it on.
Whoop it up.
He can turn it on business wise when he needs to too.
Yeah. No, I did get to see that one time. Like, oh, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Where'd he come from? This isn't the Mike I know. So I'm not surprised. I like what you're saying. They come in very prepared.
Yeah.
You know, because obviously, as we're seeing here on this, you know, just kind of doing
the opposite.
First off podcast. We're just we're sitting here talking about the most random things that come to mind because we have no agenda.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, reality is, you know, so let's spin this over to talking about some marketing stuff.
Well, it makes me more comfortable. Honestly, I'm chilling now.
That's right.
Know, like
that's the idea.
It's a good way to get your feet wet.
Yeah.
You know, just talk bullshit, drink a little beer.
Yeah.
But when we are looking to make a lot of content for our clients, we always recommend just doing this because conversational is so easy, right? And most people, like, we could ask you all sorts of SEO questions, and you're an expert in your field, so it's like just tossing up softballs, and you can just talk about, and so you eventually get very comfortable and you settle in.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
but what's different, and what I've seen work in, like, on my other podcasts as well, is also going after as opposed to just philosophical things, right? Talking about some more current, whether it's current trends, current whatever, right? But incorporating some things. So like earlier when we were talking about people not trusting TikTok and stuff like that, like I think that's actually a lot of valuable content that's going to perform well in this type of environment. Whereas I think sometimes the lobbing up softballs, that's good, and you need some of that, right? But I think an agenda that talks about more relevant and current issues and what's going on right now is
like the Cowboys stomping on the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's totally relevant.
That'll be relevant until the next time we do it.
That's evergreen. That's evergreen content.
Sorry, it's back off
TikTok.
topic.
So let's get into something like that, because you just made a point. Do you think if you made a video critical of TikTok and critical of China that you posted on TikTok, do you think it would get much reach?
Yes,
I do. Really?
Oh yeah.
So that's the difference. So that's one thing where TikTok changed the social media game, is that, so historically social media very much was based on friends and followers and subscribers, right? Like your reach was your friends and followers plus 20%, let's call it, right? Whereas what TikTok did was they made it interest based, 100% based on what you were watching, what you were doing. So not just what you were liking or what you were following, what you were actually completing a video on, right? Yeah. And that had a direct correlation with what you were going to see next, right? And also local. And so
it seems to be
and local too. They do a great job with local SEO stuff. And so the difference there is that, again, they more or less forced the other platforms to start shifting their algorithms to more interest-based stuff, right? Because before, if you were ever going to go viral, it was an anomaly, right? Whereas when TikTok rolled out, you had the ability to start to go viral with no followers, right? The majority of the people who view and watch my videos are not coming from my followers even, right? Like I have a lot of followers on there. Vast majority, even when I have a video pop,
don't see it,
are non-followers, right? Which is really cool when you think about getting your message and your whether it's your message or your brand or your whatever in front of a new audience. So YouTube Shorts, I feel like, so Instagram Reels was doing good for a while on that, but it seems like they've veered back to Meta loves friends and followers, right?
Familiarity.
And so they've definitely veered back. But YouTube Shorts is coming up on them, and that's the next. They do really well on interest-based stuff and getting more interest stuff in front of you.
And those are the same format, right? So
it's the same. It's a copy format.
So it's very easy to. It's very easy if you make it for one to post it on the other.
Well, it's not like stories. It's more like reels. Yeah. Right. So stories is more like the Snapchat thing.
That's the other headache from a business owner's perspective is you want to be on all these platforms, but they all have different size requirements and formatting. Such a headache.
But yeah, it's all the same.
That's why you guys deal with the headaches.
Well, we do, but we figured that out just on our realizing, holy crap, this landscape this landscape shot isn't working.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think that, again, if you were looking as much exposure as possible, you go TikTok and YouTube Shorts. So you make something that's just under a minute, and you go those two, make it vertical. That's giving you your best shot at virality. The problem with those platforms and with the vertical stuff is that it has a shelf life. Unless it really, really freaking takes off, right? It has a shelf life. And so that's why you still need those 2 minute to 5 minute. And then you need your real long stuff like your podcasts and webinars and crap like that, right? Because those things, that format, there's got to be different algorithms, okay? But you can build, but I'm convinced how they decide who they're going to show your long stuff to is who looks at the short stuff. You know, it's like dating, right? So before you show them the long thing, they got to be okay with the short one.
It's just the tip at first.
Fingertip?
Makes sense. Yeah, fine. Whatever. Whatever it takes to get it started. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So what's your play then? So what do you recommend to your clients? Do you say, let's create? Do you know what your shorts are going to be, or are you just doing the long and then grabbing the shorts later, or do you say, here's the overall thing, and we know we're going to get a little piece here, we know we're going to get a little piece there, or do you let it happen and then grab the little pieces from it later?
Both is what I recommend. So if you were talking about business marketing, okay, it's a combination of both. So one is doing some long form where you're getting 5 minutes to an hour of content, right? And then pulling segments from that, right? But then additionally, recording some very intentional short form that we know is just going to go there, but we're going to not just format it differently, but we're also going to put the big captions on there.
Yeah.
Put the other things, because this is the ADD crowd.
Yeah.
And again, when you think about your funnel, right? Here's your awareness phase. Your awareness phase, think about in that short form, really jump poppy kind of garbage video that some people look at and they're like, wow, what the hell is that? Well, that's a video that's going to attract a lot of attention. Also, if you have a divisive opinion, that's a great place for that, because people will start commenting on it. And then naturally, those platforms are going to show your longer stuff to those people because they were on that video longer, right? So because divisiveness both attracts people, it might kick back a few people, but it still, if it keeps them on there long enough that it plays through a couple times while they're making their hateful comment, right? Well, then YouTube's going to see that, and then they're going to show it to even more people, because that person stayed on it 3 times through while they were writing their comment. And so it's not a bad thing if people, you're never going to please everyone.
No.
And the more you try, the more you're going to be unpopular, right? The guy who's trying to be a friend to everyone is a friend of no one.
Yeah.
Right. So you might as well attract the right kind of people in and push off those that are not interested, in my humble opinion.
No, I mean, it works. So did I tell you guys what James Goodnow did for that Millennials Day?
Yeah. That's exactly what he was doing.
So they put out a video.
Creating division.
They asked President Trump to designate a Millennials Day, and they put out a petition, and they put it out there, and then they pushed it out to a PR blast and stuff like that. And you know who picked it up and where they got all their links? Because it was an SEO play
on Fox News and stuff like that.
All the right wing publications started shitting on it and then would link to it.
All right.
Well, guess what? We got
I'm sure he didn't give a shit about a millennial day.
No,
care less.
That's a pretty creative, brilliant play.
Yeah.
It's just creative.
Yeah. Well, he also wrote. He is a millennial, and he wrote a book called Managing Millennials. So it's kind of part of that.
He's the same age as me, just more successful.
Yeah. He's a CEO, of a major law firm, but he was smart enough to know that he didn't care if he got shit on. for coming up with that idea. Because was he serious about it? Maybe. Probably not.
Right.
But he also was really happy that he was getting a lot of negative publicity.
Yeah.
Look what happened. It turned out to get us a bunch of links, and it turned out to be a brilliant SEO strategy.
Yeah. There's no good press and bad press. There's just press.
So I mean,
especially from an SEO's perspective.
Yeah.
So let's just let's touch on that a little bit, because when you first mentioned that, I remember walking away from that conversation, scratching my head and being like, well, why in the hell are we making relevant content pertaining to a subject matter if something completely off topic that's just divisive, right?
Well, you can't just be divisive though. So when it comes to SEO, that's one thing, right? But then you got to have some substance behind it, right? So eventually they're going to need to go somewhere, find something, and get some juice, right?
I don't mean to completely do abstract concept.
Well, but then additionally on building your social following and stuff too, eventually you're going to have something in there. So that's where you make a hook or something, or again, you just have an opinion that is different from other people's opinion.
That's why we made a page that had a petition on it that people could go and fill out a form. And it wasn't a petition. I mean, it was a form that just says, "Hey, fill out this form if you want to support a Millennial Day, and we'll tell President Trump. We'll put your name on this list." And so that's what we created. So that was a landing page that basically all these sites would link to and say, "Can you believe this? That these guys are actually demanding a Millennials Day?" And so it was a great way to do it.
Yeah, brilliant.
I was intrigued by that.
Yeah,
it just didn't. You really had me thinking, like, well, what? Why are we even focusing on relevant content all the time? I mean, I get it what you said, Jimmy. I mean, you have to eventually have a lot of
somewhere you got to have some substance.
But
it can't just be a full-time BS.
But we don't stay on topic here. Something
turn into Alex Jones real quick.
What happened to that guy?
He got banned from everywhere. I think though. What's his name?
Well, he got
Elon let him back on X.
Yeah, but he's a lot less. He has a lot less money now.
Yeah. Well, sure.
He definitely got killed by a lot of those. Was it Texas? I think is where that lawsuit was. So yeah, that was rough.
Yeah. But it's funny though, Mario, talk about being divisive within your content and stuff, and drawing a line, right? When I told you that the first time, you remember what you said?
Refresh my memory.
You're like, I can't think of anything that I don't really have any opinions that are offensive. I'm like, you fucking offend people all the time, bro.
That's my goal.
What are you talking about?
I don't remember saying that, but I'll take your word for it.
We've got a short about it where we have this conversation on camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Perfect.
About not being offensive?
Audio and video evidence of Mario saying that.
I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah. Like you're obvious
shit. It's on TikTok right now.
Right now.
It's a deep fake.
Anything that comes up with my face on it, I just go,
nope.
Next.
What do you guys think about all that stuff, man? All this AI that's coming out this. I mean, I love playing with it, but it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
Last thing I want is people making pornos with my face on it.
I mean, it's the last thing I want.
You know?
We're in agreement on that.
The midget porn I watch
looks fake to me.
It fits right in.
I don't care if it's fake or real. I still won't watch that
shit. No, but yeah, AI stuff. So AI in general, I think if you use it in the right way, it's an incredible tool, right? So
for what about video stuff or images, and have you played with it
a lot of ways though? Yeah, we've done a lot with different. So like utilizing avatars and stuff like that. So for like education, for employee training, for all these things where, especially like employee training, for example, okay?
God, that seems like a great opportunity.
Yeah, you have all these policies that will constantly freaking change in a corporation. You run an AI, all you have to do is change the script.
Yeah. Totally.
Right? And then you don't have to schedule another actor or executive or whoever to go in and record it and do all these things.
You change one word.
Change the word, run it through again. It spits out a script.
I could show you some badass videos.
And same thing, I think, with education, right? So like, I have a background in doing, online learning, and we used to do a lot of videos, and it was a pain to do those videos, especially back in the early 2000s when we were doing that stuff, and then putting it on there, and then that's that same video lives there forever. But if you could change it and make it fresh and add new, context to what's going on today, like that education can continue to evolve.
Well, and something we worked with in curriculum, doing curriculum development and stuff, specifically with some AI stuff, is then looking at it and looking at the video, right? Because AI videos are pretty stagnant.
They're better than
the
they
voice
were
is kind
3
of
months
boring.
ago.
Oh, it's getting better every day. Okay, but that being said, it's still an AI. Okay, there's still some differences in it. Well, and in their how their mouth moves and different things. So, like what we did when we were doing those was we said, all right, there's a person, so we gotta have something up there. But what can we do to make this video more engaging?
Yeah.
Right. So what we found was utilizing B-roll, utilizing different words popping up, or different things,
switching angles,
using the things that we know from a video marketing perspective hold people's attention. Even zooming in at times, zooming out at times. I mean, the same things we do with any video.
Just do with AI videos.
Right? Changing the perspective, essentially. Consistently changing the perspective is going to hold people's attention better in every situation I've ever seen on video.
We try not to leave a shot longer than 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of when you're trying to create a really engaging video.
Yeah.
Depending on the subject matter and who's talking.
Makes sense. I mean, nobody wants to sit there, and especially like even in the education space, that's all it is. It's almost like a lecture. They'll get on there and they'll lecture for a half hour, and it doesn't move. It's the same thing over and over. I mean, so damn boring.
Even when I used to do a lot of webinars back in the old days, I did a lot of webinars. But when I would build my slide deck, right, I made it to where, and when I practiced things, there was never the same exact thing up for more than, call it 5 seconds, for more than a sentence or two, right? So even if it's another line coming out for them to read, if it's another whatever, something different constantly. And when you could do that, you'd hold people's attention, then you'd convert more off the webinar. But that was how I'd, like, people used to, because someone would say, like, so if I was presenting with someone, because that was something we did a lot of, is, we'd have some influencer or whatever. And we'd talk to them and, all right, well, let me look at your slide deck. And the number of animations, this doesn't even make sense, But it's like, well, it's not it's just different things coming, because while I'm talking, I might say a paragraph with 5 sentences in it, but it's going to have 4 separate things flying out while I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Because it's a matter of audio and visual at the same time, and something changing on the page, something keeping them engaged with that screen. Whereas others would put put all the bullet points on there on one slide and just start going through. Well, now they're reading the bottom ones while you're talking about the top one.
Yeah.
Let's keep them engaged with this and keep things coming in and literally fly them in, so there's constant movement.
Yeah.
So what I'm really intrigued with is like what it's going to be like, because we're all fathers. We all have kids, and we all go into restaurants and we see these little babies sitting there with the phones. They're watching, at 1-2 years old. They're sitting there. They have them learning how to flip through and watch videos. I'm really curious to see in 10 years from now.
They're never going to know what it was like to be real.
What it's going to take to keep them engaged.
Yeah.
Right?
If our attention spans are this low now, and the way we grew up, how much different is it going to be? And we're already seeing it with our kids too.
Yeah.
Right? So think about our kids.
Oh, no.
Right?
My kids seem to be recognizing that this is a pretty big distraction. I don't know about your kids, Adam, but mine, like, they're kind of wanting to put it away a little bit, surprisingly.
Might appreciate that it's a good distraction.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe that's just when I'm around, though.
I think it depends. I mean, because so my kids are in college, all of them, except for one just graduated.
Damn,
but
you're old.
I know, man. But I think there's 2 components to it, because one half of it is it really is where their friends are. So they're connecting with friends, communicating with friends, seeing what their friends are doing. So that's half of it. And then the other half is all the same shit that so I think older people, for the most part, are just on there watching stuff, consuming stuff. And then the younger people are doing they're actually communicating with their friends on there also. For sure. And so it's a little bit, I think it's different for them than it is for us.
I would say primarily
that's what they're doing.
They're communicating.
Or just, feeling left out or whatever it is when they see these other kids doing things or having amazing lives that are, usually just the piece that they're trying to show, and these kids. Hopefully, I think they're starting to realize. That's the one thing that I think they're starting to evolve and saying, yeah, that's great. I'm glad that they're going that, but that can't be their whole life. That's not real. That's not like every day for them. Maybe they're having fun.
Again, I'm intrigued to see. I'm really curious to see how they're going to parent their toddlers, right? Knowing what they know, because we didn't know. We were the experimental generation. It happened during when we had the little babies and stuff.
And we got iPhones. We had iPhones before the kids did. We were playing with those things. They were the best thing ever.
Remember did you get that StarTAC? How proud? Do you remember that moment when you had that first little flip phone?
Oh yeah.
The first small one, this Motorola StarTAC. Did you have that?
That had like a video, like a screen.
No. Not pre-video.
I got the Nokia.
Yeah,
the Nokia one.
I thought I was such a baller with that StarTAC, man.
I was in high school, rolling around. Like, it didn't matter if it was a telemarketer or whatever. If I was out there and phone rang, hello?
Yeah. Such a floss.
Well, that killed the two-way. Remember the two-way pagers? Or like the little start. Oh man, those were we could actually send a message because the pagers were at first were just the phone numbers that would come through.
They were designed for
and you throw
dealers.
a code at the end. Hey, here's my code, so it's me if I'm calling from a payphone or whatever. And then later on, it was the two-way pagers where you could actually send messages and stuff like that. They hit me on the two-way. It was crazy.
Two-way.
What's funny about so you saying that pagers were drug dealers, right? Is when I was in junior high, all the kids, a lot of kids had pagers.
The colored ones too,
And and you'd hang it out of your pocket.
Oh yeah, it was
pimp
an
daddy
accessory.
So you had a pager?
Yeah, of course.
I didn't have a pager.
I asked,
never had a pager.
I asked my mom if I could get one.
How did you go to a party?
We cruised, man.
He's in Casa Grande.
Casa Grande,
Not a lot of places to go.
Easy, just up and down Forest Boulevard. And we created the party.
All
So
right.
they were coming to us. Where's the party?
We're like, I gotta get this payphone
in the back of someone's truck.
I need to find out where this.
Literally in the back of someone's truck.
Well, as soon as you miss the caravan, that's what the kids don't understand these days. If you miss the caravan and you get you get the red light and they keep going, you miss the party.
Yeah.
You don't know where they're.
I ran a lot of red lights that way.
You can't just be like, send me the Addy.
Us small town kids didn't have that problem.
There wasn't that many lights.
There's only
where Mario grew up.
And the good thing about it is you could see like lights up going.
For days.
See,
and that was part of the fun.
Adam's
was finding the
there.
party.
Yeah.
You had a good time looking for the party.
Well,
you hit all the party spots, and that was part of the party was finding the party.
What's funny too is it's like, well, if a cop drove by and saw that many cars with kids, it's like, well, we know what they're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was another part of the fun part of the party was just running from the cops.
Yeah.
We see the lights coming, everybody scatters like roaches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Super dangerous.
I managed to only get myself caught a few times, so it was good.
That is good.
My first ticket was for theft of pallets.
Or for a bonfire?
For bonfire for the party.
Nice.
That's what we used to do. We used to go behind Walmart and take a bunch of pallets. I mean, I didn't even know. I thought they were throwing them away.
Total criminal, by the way.
I know.
I thought they were throwing them away.
Shit
That was
realistically.
I felt gangster. I had to go before a judge. I was terrified.
I think I never got.
I told my found them on the side of the road though. I was like, I didn't know. They were just on the side of the road. I was just cleaning up trash. I stuck to that story the whole way through.
Did they put you upstate? What did they do?
No.
To Florence Penitentiary?
Tried to scare me. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, the thing I never got in trouble for that I always thought I eventually I'm going to get caught for this. We just do beer runs every week.
Man, those were fun.
We'd go and me and my buddy get out of my buddy's car. And it was a IROC Z, right? So it was a two-door car. And so one guy driving, so one of us had to get in back. We'd go hit a Circle K, a different one every time, and each walk out with 2 30-packs and just throw them all in the back. Yeah. One guy would jump in back and we'd out of there. And we never got in trouble for it. Like, I mean, it was insane.
We did some of those too. It was a lot of fun. There was one time I had
the statute of limitations is over now.
That's good. Who gives a shit? So I had this old ass like Volkswagen Squareback. It's like the station wagon, like Bugs basically. Yeah. And we pulled up to the Circle K, behind the Circle K, and just opened the back. And then what we had to do is we had somebody going through the front and open the back door. Where the bathroom was. And people were they had all their beer stacked up.
Yeah. I knew people who did that. I never did that, but I knew people who did.
We loaded the whole car up.
Yeah.
That's out of there. after that, they actually bolted that thing up later on.
There was a Chevron. There was
130 packs later. Yeah, they weren't even 30 packs around at
the
that time.
entire back of that damn
24
station
packs.
wagon, man.
There was a
Crazy.
Chevron in Mesa that set up a giant Bud Light display in front of the store, like with cases of beer.
Right by the door?
No, outside.
No.
Outside, I swear.
Hey, steal this. Is that what the sign said?
Yeah, some guys from the school backed up with the tailgate lowered.
Yeah, no doubt. Jeez, they're begging for that. You know, I don't know. Do kids do that anymore? Do kids do beer runs?
I don't know.
Kids don't drink,
Kids don't drink.
which is good.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know how good it is, but
I mean, I've got.
You got mixed feelings about that.
I do. I
mean,
have severe mixed feelings.
I like it, but I don't. You know,
My kids drink.
My kids drink a little. But when they drink, it's like they don't drink. I don't know. But again, I have girls, so I don't know. So if I had boys, I'd be
I've
curious
got
to
3
see.
girls.
no, but
and
in Mexico, Sydney, they were getting
They're getting tuned up.
a bunch of shots with us and stuff like that.
That's true.
You were busy taking care of something else, but
Yeah. Well,
no, I mean, I don't know. I think that they don't go as crazy. I don't think, but like, there's definitely kids out there partying still.
yeah.
hallelujah.
Going back to what you were saying before,
Sorry,
something that you got my mind thinking about was, man, this educational stuff with AI. It's fucking crazy. I don't know if you saw, but you know, Alex Hormozy yesterday, I think it was yesterday or this week, he announced that he bought School, SKOOL. Do you know what School? It's like where you can put your courses up, your video courses and stuff. Basically, you and then you charge people to go in.
A membership site.
So I have a membership at some mastermind group, and they have all their videos on School. Okay. It's a pretty good platform. But he bought it yesterday or this week. I was really surprised, and he said he's going to come out with something that's super like new and whatever else. And now that you said that, I wonder if that's the play, if AI is the play, because if you think about it, if you could create avatars and then you're just putting up content and then you're just writing it out and then it creates a video that teaches somebody something, there's a lot of value in that. And there's the barrier to entry becomes so much lower than having to create video, edit it, publish it, put it all on there and all that stuff. Like it could happen like that. And you could put some real valuable content up there. At scale.
I think it depends on what it is, right? So I don't see
Depends on the subject.
So like in the
same thing with there's some shitty courses out there that people are recording for real.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? In the foreseeable future, right? I don't see like a sales video, for example, right?
Yeah.
You can't run an AI for that. I know some do, right? And they'll run an AI and just run B-roll the whole time.
That's what I mean,
an AI
education.
Voice. But
seems like
education, like as far as teaching the course, as far as, but like, like I said, I think right now the prime use for it, like the best use case where it's still going to be just as valuable, is in like corporate trainings, stuff like that, because it's
education.
Education. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is education, but because there's no expectation of value, right, in something like that right now. And then I think as it evolves, like we were talking about, making it more valuable with other stuff. So a lot of the AI videos that we were doing when we were doing the curriculum stuff, it was, there was never an intention of putting a video here. It was, all right, so we already have our nice videos in these places. But there's this big paragraph of reading, and we already know that attention spans are low for these kids, right? So we would instead throw an AI video in there as a, hey, either read this or listen to this, right?
Supplementary almost.
Yeah. No, totally. So for those
That's
kids
100%.
had terrible reading retention.
Yeah.
But could learn enough of.
I think that seems like a no-brainer for AI capabilities in video.
I think I'm willing to bet in education they're going to find out that the video is going to play an important.
People learn differently.
Yeah, important component.
Like
and I think the videos are going to need. There's going to be certain subjects they're going to need to require a lot more graphical, whatever kind of engagement in there.
That's not going to take very long for AI to figure out either. Like, okay, hey, give me a screenshot of this, or puts a graphic together for this. I mean, all that stuff is going to be. I mean, I don't know. Have you guys used Midjourney at all?
A little bit.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm just blown away by it. I wish I had a little more control. I've seen some other ones that I've played with and some more vector-based ones that have some pretty cool stuff too. But like at some point when you have more control over exactly what it does, or you tell it, hey, change this or change that, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I see examples
For
of
sure
it already.
coming.
Yeah. I mean, it's blows my mind. So we'll see. And here's the crazy shit too, like 2024 for the presidential election, how many of these like AI videos are going to come out and just dominate, all social feeds,
Have you seen the ones recently that are replicating? Have you seen the platform that there's a few now, but they replicate other people's voices? So you take a voice that is common, like
Labs.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then they run that person's voice, and they'll show a video, but they'll make it pretty small, the person pretty small, to try to like more or less deep fake like them saying certain things, like Warren Buffett recommending something or things like that. And it gets sketchy too.
It's getting
For sure.
close to being looking real.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm in video and I have to I'll double take
like,
certain things when I
look
hear
sideways
someone
or something.
say it. Yeah. Like, wait, what? That's not real.
I mean, that could affect stock markets.
Yeah.
With a guy like Warren Buffett,
it's scary.
or Elon Musk saying something about.
I've seen it with Musk
Bitcoin
with Warren Buffett, specifically on Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly.
Bullshit, basically.
Yeah, and it just get a run.
Yeah.
On the market. Yeah, it's wild. The implications are pretty staggering. Like what could actually result of things like that. It's crazy.
So it's going to come down to who's the master of the tool, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the kind of thing that's kind of cool about it is you don't even have to master the tool. Yeah, you do, but it's like, what's your idea? Your idea is going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because mastering a tool is going to be super easy. It's going to be conversational. It's going to be, you tell it what you want. So it's your idea. Whoever has the idea and wants to push something out there, that's the part of it that's, I mean, like, some mastering a tool, like even like ChatGPT, when it first came out, just blew my mind. And then after a while, you're like, yeah, it's not that great. When you have to like work at it. It takes a bit to get something quality out of it. At first it's like, oh wow, it's instant. I got this great shit.
It's cool, but it's still kind of generic, right?
You have
to rewrite and know how to prompt it accordingly.
Yeah. And even my kids in college doing the same thing. Like, so now they've becoming really good at this ChatGPT stuff because my daughter
cheat at class.
We were they totally cheat the classes. And my daughter actually over in I shouldn't say this, but she goes to school in New York and Fordham, and the professor told her that she was going to get failed because her essay had come across as detected by as AI, and she's called me. She was all sad. I said, bullshit. I said that. You tell them
that's
all
the
you have
future.
to do is tell them that
That's
you
the
did it
future.
because they don't know. It's not 100%.
Yeah.
They don't know 100% if that's AI or not. So guess what? You tell them, no, that's not true. And they can't say anything about it because they don't know 100%. So these kids are learning that and they're also learning. And so I talked to her just the other day and we talked about it. She said, it takes me almost as long to write a really good essay, like an A-level essay with ChatGPT.
Right.
But it's just a different way of doing it.
Well, and not only that, I feel like that's actually a valuable skill in the future employment market to be able to effectively use it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, again, I think to be master of the tools. It's just another tool.
Yeah.
Right, but somebody has to run the tool.
Yes.
Well, and then you still have to look at what it wrote and make changes and do. I mean,
You do.
think about the number of scripts.
We're only a year in, by the way.
Shit. Think about the number of scripts, Mario, that we've put together that started at AI. Like, I feel like right now it's an incredible tool to get you 90% of the way where you need to go. And if nothing else, get the creative juices flowing, right?
Half the
It's really
battle
good
is
for
just getting
outlines.
going.
Yeah, and then you make adjustments and keep going, you know what I mean? And if you can prompt it successfully 5 or 6 times, with rewrites and stuff like that, and then go in and make your own changes and make it your own, well, then it's incredible how far you come in such a short period of time compared to sitting down, thinking and writing that out.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing, it was good at cross-referencing for like technical things, getting back to curriculum development.
Yeah.
And the outlines, like you just said, I mean, it was amazing how it would cross-reference with Texas State education guidelines opposed to Arizona State guidelines on a particular subject matter. And it would say, as long as you put it in the prompt,
Yeah.
You know, give me this outline and show me what it's addressing, what it's not addressing, and it did it instantly.
Yep.
I mean, and so from
And
that
now you can make
perspective-
your own GPTs with ChatGPT, and so you can go in there.
Have you done that yet?
Yeah, I've got, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 of them that I've created. So you go in there and you train it on a specific, you know, whatever. You can upload a bunch of PDF files. You can give it websites, and you can basically train it on whatever you want. Now you've got a ChatGPT that is specifically trained on whatever you want, and then you start prompting it. So then after that, you just use it like normal ChatGPT, but you know it has all this knowledge already.
And so now ChatGPT, the company, is tapping into your creative brain.
Yeah.
And now they have all that feeding into their beast.
And then you can share that, and you can
Wow.
actually sell it. You know, if you want to create, if you can create a specific, a real specific ChatGPT that's real good at one specific task, then you can then sell it to other people, and they're creating a marketplace where people can sell them now. You know, so it's pretty
cool.
wild. Yeah, it's fun.
I saw that and I meant to look into it a little deeper.
It's actually
too much.
It sounds complicated, but you literally go create new GPT, and then you can even you can prompt it to create itself, even, or you can go in and create a whole long, you know, description of what you want it to do, and then you upload its knowledge. They call it a knowledge like base or whatever. So you can upload any files that you want. It's actually not complicated at all, and it'll even create its own thumbnail because it has a little thumbnail for every ChatGPT. It'll make its own thumbnail. It'll come up with its own name. I usually replace both with my own, but you could do one in about a half hour, create your own custom ChatGPT that can perform a specific task. And I think I don't know how long, when it came out, but now it's got the ability to even like, you can go in there, and I haven't tested this part out, but you can go in there and give it access to websites. So you can say, here's my username and password for this site. Go do the research for this specific task. As you have access, you have a tool or something that you want it to go look at, you can actually give it access to that tool, and then it can get in there and log into it. It's
How great would it be if it could,
Pretty
you know,
wild.
you could say, go grab these analytics from
yeah,
this site.
totally.
You know,
Yeah, I haven't played with that part yet. I saw that was a new feature that came out, and I haven't done it yet. But it's just pretty soon these agents, they're called agents, are going to be able to do all these different things. And then you got one agent that's doing one task, and you got another agent that's doing another task, and they're starting to talk together, and they're knowing what each other are doing. And I don't know, it's pretty wild. Man.
Pretty incredible.
It you know, blows your mind.
all right, fellas. Well, my fun meter's getting pegged here.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and sign off. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Adam, for coming down.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
First
thank
one
you
to
guys. That
kind
was
of get
fun.
the marbles out of our mouth a little
Yeah.
bit, see how this goes.
Just bullshitting.
All right.